Hi, today is March 11th, and I came out to see about walking. But I also came out before I had my second glove on. I didn't know for sure if I needed to wear a glove today. Maybe I'll just wear one. So I need to keep wiping my hair away from my face, and then I feel like I got something in my eye. But you know, I think those eyelashes that are growing are maybe sticking in my eye sometimes. It feels like something blurry over here. I need to make sure to pay attention to all that stuff, you know. Sometimes I know I need to go in and have my eyes tested. I was supposed to come back in 3 months and I didn't do it. And I do see floaters sometimes, which I didn't have any. But I'm sure it's the blood sugar. I'm thinking my blood sugar is doing pretty good now, as long as I keep taking my pills. But you know what? It's still not fixing whatever's wrong. And this hair in my face is wrong. Okay. Well, there's excitement afloat. Afoot. I like to float, okay? I want to float in the air. Be up on cloud 9, wouldn't that be nice? Supposedly. I don't know what that means, cloud 9. It's a designated number of a cloud. I think spring is here today. Dad said it was 54 degrees out here. And this is still early in the day. It's before noon. I'm not really sure what time it is. I just know that I need to be getting some walking done. And I like to do my videos out here. Yeah. I don't know how my stuff shows up on other people's devices, okay? And it's not their devices, it's away from my account, is what I mean. I need to go into my channel on someone else's phone or tablet and see what happens. I mean, can you cruise through all my stuff without being a subscriber? Can you choose the oldest video and go forward? What can you do? What can I do if I was somebody else? Ow. I know I need to name my videos a little better, and I need to learn. I need to endeavor on categorizing things. I actually said that word, wow. Cute little cars. Yeah, somebody's there because they put out their recycling and their garbage. Just never see anything move. I need to hitch a ride, guys. I need to find a ride. And then a ride back. I need to go to my place in Colorado. I either need to sell my truck or pick it up. I don't really want to sell it. But then again, right now, I mean, I could haul a trailer with it and move stuff. Or I could even haul my house, my little trailer. It's 28 feet long, I believe. But it's a house. It is a park model mobile home. Manufactured home, whatever. It has no holding tanks. You just plug and play. You know what I'm saying? You go to a place and you plug into their electricity and you pull the septic thing down into a place that's a septic So you don't have to worry about it. It just hooks right in. So power, okay, and water. You plug into the water. Everything is plug and play. And you're set. So yeah, it's a nice little setup. And what it was a FEMA trailer. Guy got it at an auction probably, and then I came along and bought it from him. And it's been on my property all this time, and that I've been living in it. Thank God I had that thing. And what a great deal I got on that thing. And no matter how little you pay for something, it does not devalue what it's worth. And then when you go to try to figure out a value, you got to think about what's valuable to somebody. There's a piece of glass right outside their driveway. I got something in my eye. Ah. Okay. They don't take glass for recycling. Guess I'll just hold on to it until I get home. But I'll end up cutting myself because I'll forget about it and go to brush my hair aside. But I gotta go put it in the garbage. So I guess my hair will be in my face. There. I can't stand that. And sometimes I need to check my eyeball out, find out what's going on. There's something foreign, and it's not my finger. A lot of times it'll be my finger in my eye. Now see, you do not see those. When a plane goes by, they don't leave that. You see the trail? Can you see the trail? That's a crisscross. Wonder how far that goes. Tripping. Okay, I just gotta get this glass out of my hand before I cut myself with it. I have a glove on, but I'm afraid I'm gonna forget and reach up and cut my face. That would not be cool. All right. So I put it in the garbage. Might need to take this glove off, I do. You know, things start driving you crazy. I'm gonna leave it on. It's a nice snug fit. I like that. You know, it's a knit glove, but it's snug. So it's not quite so easy to get off. It doesn't just slide off. I have to tug on it. Well, it's good to be out walking. My back and everything's been being weird from sitting too much, you know. It really is. And then I've noticed my legs are skinny. So I've got to build my legs up and my bones up. I want to reverse my aging. Don't we all? That's what we spend a lot of time trying to figure out how to do. Oil on the road. I don't know. Okay. You know what I'm gonna do? Because it's gonna drive me crazy if I don't. Is I'm gonna come up here and lay the phone on the car for a second and take off my glove. Okay. Then find out what the heck is in my eyeball. Right now it's my finger. Okay. Now I have two hands that are not covered with my gloves. And I don't have the glass in my hand anymore. So that's a good thing. Because my hands are always in my face. Getting the hair out. Okay. Yes, I've got to endeavor on a lot of things. It's not funny either. Just a lot of different things. And I just don't want to. So, I've got to get over that. I do need to find out if anybody's going to Denver. You know what? I should ask. The dog grooming place, which is the person I found out about the surgeon from. Her best friend had had surgery with him. Anyway, one of the ladies in there goes back to Denver. I wonder when her next trip would be. And she probably flies. But I think she went back for a month before. Her kids, I think her kids are there. It's hard to remember. So I don't know them, you know, I just know some of it. I know she had a divorce. And I believe the kids are there. So she might still be, you know, traveling back and forth from here, right here in this town, to Denver. That'd put me pretty close to home. If she happened to be going at the same time, that'd be cool. That'd be great. I need to go back, and I don't necessarily want to stay that long, but you know, it might take a little while to do some stuff. And I need to get it advertised, but I need to know when I'm going to be there, how I'm going to get there. Or I could take care of things long distance. I keep wanting to call him my husband because he was for so long, but Joe is there at the property where all these vehicles are. And the titles and different things that I have to take care of are there. I need to go and take care of that horse trailer too. I could have sold the horse trailer a lot of times, but I don't have it titled. And there's just a couple steps that you have to go through to get it titled. I mean, they're easy. And yes, why haven't I done that? Well, because I haven't been there. And Joe refuses to. And it's not that easy right now because, like, the truck that I'm talking about maybe selling, the 1997 Ford F-250, it's not licensed right now. Had to pick and choose, and by God, that gas price was crazy. You know, diesel will go back down, but right now it sucks. Anybody who's driving a diesel, oh my God, it's not cool. It was great when Trump was in, and yes, I'm a Trump supporter. If you don't like Trump, you probably won't like me. I don't like everything, okay? But if you have to pick and choose, I like a lot. I don't like the drug laws at all. They need to be changed. People need to be let out of prison, unless they killed somebody. Put the real criminals in there. Close up the border. Don't let any more warriors come into our country, you people. That's what's going on. It isn't just the little women and children. Yeah, they're talking about the vote. These people shouldn't be able to vote. They're not supposed to be here. And they're killing people, guys. They're killing and they're robbing and they're destroying. Be one thing if they're supposed to go by the channels, and I know the channels are hard. I mean, I don't know firsthand, but I know anything you've got to be tested for sucks. But it's not being racist or anything, people. What it is we are going to be taken over if we don't do something. And if you read through what I read, go back and look up Mormon, read by Lou, R-E-A-D, by Lou, on Lou's Touch. Do that, the whole thing. You have to put on Lou's Touch, and then it'll pop up, okay? I read a book called Mormon. And I'm trying to remember. Seems like it only had like 9 chapters. But oh my God, in those chapters, that's here. This record is of a battle between the Lamanites and the Nephites, which consisted of, Laman and Nephi were brothers, people. When they left Jerusalem and went there, it was Laman, Lemuel, Nephi, and Sam. And then there were other ones born. But those were the 4 main sons of Lehi. And that's what started what was going on over here. Laman and Lemuel were very rebellious. And I mean, I can see some of their points of view, but they just got carried away. Savageness, oh my God. Savage is the correct word. The things that were in that book, I read it online here, okay? So check it out, write it down, and look up Mormon, and it'll be a chapter, like, I won't say chapter, it just says 1, Mormon 1, read by Lou. On Lou's Touch is what you have to put on there. And then just do all the way through 9. And then Moroni. Moroni is Mormon's son. And he carries on the rest of, you know, there's more to that. I can't remember. It seems like I might have read about ordinances in his. I'll have to go back and look up that stuff. But the thing is, I'm reading it to you, okay? It's different than anybody else in the world is going to read it to you. And yes, I stumble. But I try to fix that. And I tell you how important it is to watch punctuation. When you're reading out of the scriptures, follow the punctuation. Pause. And then go on. Because they talk in phrases. And then they'll do 2 different parts. I mean, you can't look for sentences, okay? These phrases are the sentences. And they do them concise because they're in a small space. I mean, makes sense to me. So what am I trying to say? You know, to understand what you're reading, you need to pay attention to the punctuation. Just like in a song, you want to hold the notes for the right amount of time. You know, some are a whole note. I think that's like 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm not sure. And then a quarter note would be 1. And a half note would be 2. So the point is, you follow the punctuation, okay? Commas are one thing, semicolons are another. Semicolons are a definite division, but they both can mean the same thing as what came before it. It's just another way of putting something that says the same thing. And like me and Jesus, we're talking stories. We're storytellers. So you have to listen to the whole story. And then you have to put all the pieces together. So sometimes you won't even understand until later what was said, because The one who said it knows. And those that know of their stuff and how they talk will understand what they're reading. Like my stuff. It can be misunderstood. And sometimes I took pleasure in the trickery of the words. I did. I enjoyed writing those papers. But see, I can't say they were totally me, okay? I was an instrument. And the training for that happened went over a lifetime, you know, from the time I was a child, growing up and everything I've been through. But not just that, I'm talking about the knowledge that's in those books. Came from a lot of studying. And one point in time when I was up there on that 500 acres, oh, it was so beautiful. But I had that insatiable urge. I had to learn something. And I, probably because I had no TV and I had no telephone. My daughter was in school. So there I was. Plus we've been told we should write a journal, keep a journal. And I'm gonna scatter. But while I was up there on that mountains when I started writing, I think, and my mother had given me this journal. It was pretty big, you know, like the size of notebook paper, but in a hardback cover, which I don't know where it's at. But I wrote in that. I sat down one day to try it out, you know, didn't know what I was going to write or anything, and I bet it was the first time I ever wrote for serious or something, you know. But 22 pages later, going as fast as I could go. This stuff just poured out of me. 22 pages. That's a lot. I had to stop myself. I wanted to keep going, but I had to stop because I probably had to go pick up my daughter from school or something. I had something I had to do. But otherwise, I was by myself on that mountain in that old house writing. And see, one of the times when I was writing was I wrote that, turn on your light so you're not in the dark. I realized my daughter was in kindergarten, so she was probably 5, which my math sucks these days. She's 47, I think, so that would be 42 years ago. 42 from 69, what does that make me? 27. I was 27 years old. That was a hard way to get to that. But anyway, that's why I do that, so I can figure out how old I was. Because I know my daughter's age to an approximate. And I know what happened when I wrote the paper. She was in her room. And it was all dark, you know, right there before it gets really dark. But it's dark. I told her, I says, turn on your light so you're not in the dark. And then I heard what I said, and I'm going, oh my, I got to go write about that. So I did. I said, listen, what did you just say? And it's something about I need to read the paper to you, but it's on here. You can find it on here. And then when you do, that's a video entitled Turn on Your Light So You're Not in the Dark. So for one part of the video, I read that. And then after I got through reading that, I talked for a long time. And I got excited and I said some bad words, okay? Because I am very upset about the marijuana deal. It's not right what's going on. It's not right what's going on in the whole world over all this crap. You know, like the song said, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. Quit throwing fire on a problem. Putting gas on the fire is what I'm trying to say. You already got a problem, let's make it worse. Let's do all these things you're doing in the name of trying to keep people from doing something. Instead, if you let them have it, and then you practice teaching them about the downfalls and the whereas and the helping them get off of it, because they're going to get off, they're going to get on it anyway. So instead of making things horrible, we need to try to find a way to fix it, or at least just let it be. Have controlled situations. I don't know. You know, it seems to me that you want to know that they know what reality is, okay? And if they lose sight of reality, then they need to be in a controlled environment where it would be into a, I picture in my head, go to an insane asylum. Put them in a room where the room is padded so they can't hurt themselves. Make it where they can't hurt themselves and let them go trip out, man. You know what I'm saying, dude? And yes, I've used the word dude for years and years and years. It ain't leaving my vocabulary. And I've said ain't all those years too, I guess. I don't really like the word ain't, but I've noticed I say it. So, just, you know, let it slide off your back if you don't like it. I heard recently, don't call me dude. I can't stop myself, especially if, you know, yeah, there are times that you just want to say dude. It would be so nice if my body would become young. Wouldn't it? I mean, if yours did too. This guy's garbage top broke off. Yeah. How do I find out? Because the church, people in the church are always traveling back and forth. Spring is coming. When's the next trip going back east? You know, towards my place. Close to my place. If you're driving along 80, Interstate 80 going east and west, it's only an hour down to my place if you're driving. Okay, you get off at the exit Kimball, little town called Kimball. I think that's Nebraska, but it's right above. You get out there and you make a right, okay? And you take that road for an hour. I don't know if it's 60 miles, but what you do is you take that road. Go to the right when you get off the freeway. If you're coming from Washington, headed east, and you're on 80, just pull off at that exit, let me out. And that's an hour from my place. Joe could come pick me up. That close. Trying to figure out how to do everything that I need to do. I do need a couple buddies, volunteers, people who would give of their time because they love Aunt Lou. Oh, serious. I need to go home and take care of vehicles. And then I need to go to Kansas. I got a little house in Kansas. I need to go up and just, if the panels are still there, I don't know that they will be, but if the panels are still there that fell down, all we got to do is hold them up and screw them in. And then my fence would be back in place, which would make it look a lot better. And then I need to, I could take a sprayer, a paint sprayer, and go spray that house. give it a brand new coat of paint on the outside. What it really could use is some windows. Those are such old windows. It's just a little shack. I call it a little shack, but it's got great potential, okay? And it is nice and small and cozy for a single person or single person or a couple. It's not what your mom and dad would have, okay? Normally, anyway. By the time you get up to where you're trying to get your own place, you guys are funny, thinking that you should be able to start out in life just like what you got at home. That you can have the same stuff. Well, you can have the same stuff, but you're gonna pay, man. They got theirs. They started with theirs a long time ago when property was cheaper. And the main thing is you don't want anybody to take it away from you. And I don't want to touch that button because if I do, you'll go away. I wanted to turn the volume up. I just hope you can hear me. I know the closer you get to me, the better it is. I know that Garmin GPS will take you straight to Dad's house. All you gotta do is put the address in right. It'll take you there. It'll tell you estimated time of arrival. Yeah, I can't drive by myself because I do get hypnotized and I may fall asleep on the road and then I'll be dead. If not dead, mangled. And it's not funny. My second husband, on one of his trips, I'm not sure if he was coming to meet me and if it was even a lie, but maybe he was just telling me about it. He wasn't coming to see me. But he was on a trip with a girl and she fell asleep at the wheel. And I don't know what all happened, but you know, the car can just tumble and toss. What is it, a rollover? And how many times? It could roll over many times. Anyway, I do get hypnotized. So I have to have control of music and have it playing, the stuff that I like, so I can sing to it and be engaged with it, and then I can stay awake. But if I get a chance to be thinking, pretty soon, I'm off into that dream. I was my teacher when I was in the first grade or whatever, because I don't think they had kindergarten when I was young. One of my report cards, and it seems like it was from Virginia, and if so, that was the first grade. I'm pretty damn sure. Anyway, they put it in the report card that I was a daydreamer. But I mean, we moved around so much, I didn't have friends. And you got someone teaching you, what are they teaching you? And especially at that age, you're being creative, hopefully with artwork. I don't know what they do in the first grade now. They teach you trigonometry. And that's so stupid. I was being exaggerative, but you know, you guys know what I mean. The things they're trying to teach our kids that are not important for the average bear. You just need to know how to read and write and know how to add and subtract and divide and multiply. And then let the rest of it be for those who want to specialize in some situation where they need that, you know? That sounds like a garbage truck to me. I think it might be the recycling truck. This is that time of day, and I did not put out the recycling. I did put the garbage out, though. It's just the wind was blowing when I went to put the garbage out. The wind was blowing. If I'd have put the recycling out, it would have blown everywhere. So it's best to put it out when it's not blowing. And I just didn't get up and do it. It wasn't important to me. It can wait until next week. But the garbage got out. Yeah, my body's like saying, let's go sit down. I think I will. We've gone 34.52 minutes. So I'm going to come into the house and sit in my chair. but I don't know if I have anything else in there. You know, like my iPad, so I could read from it. I carried it around with me yesterday all day. But I decided no. Okay. Squeaky door. Anyway. Dad is checking on selling his house. And actually, it's a really good idea. If he could, this is my opinion. I know I'm full of them. But Uncle David bought a trailer in a gated community. So it seems to me the price was not bad. So Dad could sell this house and make a good amount of money and go down there and be able to buy that and have money left over for a nest egg. And it would put him in the same community as David. And it's only like a couple miles from Nathan. And I know how much Dad would love to be close to Nathan. That would just be marvelous. And then I told him, I says, and you got to make sure you have a bedroom for me. Because I might come down there. You know, depends on what happens in my life. But right now I just got to go take care of business. And then I've got to figure out some other stuff. But the main thing is take care of business. Be done with that. Or figure it out. Because there are options. There are definitely options. Now, I've said it before, I do not like my property, but I do like owning it. I like knowing it's mine and the taxes are not bad. And it has potential. But you know what? If I had the money and I was going to stay there, I would be planting me some trees. And I mean some big ones. Because it takes years for them things to grow. I don't have that much time. So what I want to do, and I need to put that in there too, I traded my house, a very nice house, for that property. And there's a way to do that again. Find the right property, though, because I want trees, and I want water running through it, and I want a lot of things. There was a perfect little place, but I didn't have the money. I've never had the money to actually deal with things. It's amazing I've done what I've done. Okay, that little place that I'm talking about, this was before I could do anything. And I had taken that real estate course, which, you know, basically gives you a lot of different ways to try to put a deal together. And you think about all those things. And so anyway, I'll get back to that place. It only had 10 acres, okay? But it was lovely. And they had I didn't understand it at the time, but I think they had 2 cisterns. They had a heat pump, which is, I think, an economical way to heat up your water and heat up your house. And the water comes from a hot water heater, I think, and it goes through all these tubes that go in and out and in and out. I mean, some people have them in the floor, it seems like, but I think those are electrical. Those are just electrical, like putting a little heating pad under the floor, so it heats the floor. They run it in tubing, but that's different than a heat pump. Okay, that's electrical, but the same deal. Heat up the floor and heat up the walls, and it's just your hot water running instead of a furnace. So there's ideas. But anyway, this house had a heat pump. And I think that had to do with heating and air conditioning. At least 1 well, 2 water cisterns, 10 acres, trees galore. And these were not pine trees, though, because this is over by Kansas and Nebraska area. I'm not sure where it was. But it was very inconveniently located if you needed to get to the freeway. So it was really, for a lot of good purposes, it was great because it put you off the beaten path where you wouldn't see people traipsing by. Plus, I really like being in the trees. I like some privacy. I don't want everybody to be, I don't want to be like exposed. There you are, you come out in your yard, and anybody passing by is privy. They, at my property, they would need binoculars, so. And then there'll be an airplane, a little airplane go flying by. So, flying over the top of my house, my area. Yes, I know. Anyway, so I started talking about Dad maybe selling the house. I mentioned it to him before, and I've talked to Nathan before. But I think if there's a house available in that same community as David, you need to find out. Maybe it'll be cheap enough that Dad could sell this one and buy that one and have a nest egg. Did I already say all that? And be close to his son and be close to his brother. And then I told him to make sure he had a bedroom for me. He says, oh. And I said, well, you never know. I don't know what my future is going to bring. I might have to come and stay with you. But I think it's a really good idea. And I told him he could be a snowbird if he doesn't want to leave here. He could lock it up and go, but there's really great doctors down there. And I think it would just be really nice if he could be close to Nathan. That's the light of his eyes. It's his son, okay? And for what's going on around here, Austin's a young boy. We will say young man, okay? Because he is 24, I believe. He's got a fiance. They just bought a house. They just moved out of here. And they're young, and they're into their own things that are going on. So, Dad needs to be with the older crowd. He needs to be with his son. And that would be cool if I could come and stay with Dad, on and off. I don't know what my future is going to bring. I just know that I need to go take care of stuff. And I don't want him stuck here. Nobody comes here to visit. They have the great intentions, and maybe they do once a year or something, but that just doesn't cover a lot of ground when it's, 364 left in the year, and you're alone. And I told Dad, Mom and Dad didn't drop everything and go move in with Grandma Riggs. She had to come and live with them. And I've gotten that point across to Dad. He's just going to have to change some, And I told him, Mother's not there at the graveyard. Her bones are there. She's in heaven. She's busy up there, and she watches over us maybe. I don't know how that works. I just know she's busy. And time doesn't exist anymore where she's at because she's left this earthly place. Time is for us to measure out things while we're here. And I don't know. It says, no man knoweth the hour or the day when Jesus will be coming again. But it also says that you look for the signs of the times. They give the story of the fig tree. But they're still comparing to what's in the scriptures that tells you what the signs are. All I know is I believe in the Book of Mormon. I believe in Joseph Smith, who translated